Hello everyone and welcome to Certification to Success. This is the first video in our series on how to become a successful QuickBooks Online certified ProAdvisor. So this first video is all about the process of signing up for the free QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor program and then becoming certified in it. So I'm going to give you some steps to get in there and get started. If you've never signed up for the ProAdvisor program, it's 100% free. So is the training for your exam and the exam itself. So let's get you in there and in the right spot so you can get started as soon as possible in your ProAdvisor career. I'm sharing my screen right now, and you can see I'm at quickbooks.intuit.com/accountants. This is the page where you go and register for the first time for the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor program. So on the top right of the screen, just click sign up, and in here is where we'll quickly fill in the information to sign up our new bookkeeper for her new ProAdvisor practice. All you need is a name, a phone number, and an email address. How easy is that? So let's get her signed up. Well, that's it. We just got her signed up really quickly for the free ProAdvisor program, and now Betty has a place where she can work with her clients using QuickBooks Online. She can also work on her own certifications and growing her own practice, all within this free realm that Intuit has given us. So this is really cool. Let's get in here and show you, first of all, some of the free benefits and tools that Betty can take advantage of right away. So just really quick, this is called QuickBooks Online Accountant. You may hear that throughout some of the training that you're going to go through. Sometimes the trainers will even call it qboa, standing for QuickBooks Online Accountant. So we'll say qboa when we're talking about this realm where you manage your practice. We'll be saying QBO, QuickBooks Online, when we're referring to our clients. So that's kind of a general industry terminology. So it's something you might want to get used to pretty early. So when Betty signs up, she gets this left navigation in her QBOA realm, or her practice where she works. Here she can manage her clients. Right now she doesn't have any on the books, but we can add clients at any time. We'll get into that later. She can also add team members to her accounting firm or her practice. And so basically here she can invite other users into her QBOA to help her manage her clients. Where I really want to focus right now is the ProAdvisor benefits and training. We'll get there in a second. And then later in the training, we're going to talk about the work area in QuickBooks Online Accountant, which allows you to track your own projects and due dates for things that you are providing for your clients, and then how to connect and manage apps, not only for your firm, but your clients. Finally, this last area on the left navigation is called Your Books. Intuit has given Betty and anybody else who signs up for the ProAdvisor program access to their own free QuickBooks Online Advanced. So you can manage and track your own accounting within QuickBooks Online Advanced for free. It also includes a free elite payroll. So once you start growing, or Betty's firm starts getting bigger and she's hiring employees, she can now have run payroll for free, which is pretty fantastic. So that's all in here. This would be Betty's accounting right in here. Let's go to the ProAdvisor tab on the left navigation and first check out the benefits that Betty gets for free from Intuit. So let's go ahead and check that out. So at this point, Betty has 800 points, and it could be an accumulation of different things that are going on within her practice. It could be that she's already certified. That'll get her some points. Here is an area where you can actually check out how to get points for each individual engagement you have with Intuit. It could be that she's added clients that are QuickBooks Online clients. It could be she's certified. It could be all kinds of things. So this is a general area of where you would go. And as you earn points and engage more with Intuit, you're going to go up the tiers until you're at Elite. She is right now at Platinum, and there might be various reasons why she is. And we could look at the history there to find out. If it was brand new, you probably would not have any points at this point. But she's slowly gaining ground there, and she's up to Platinum already. Okay, so let's look at the training. Now, all this training is free. It doesn't matter what tier you are as far as a ProAdvisor. This is all free. Let me just show you where to go to start that certification process. It's actually allowing you now to filter out into different areas of training. Do you want to learn about the product QuickBooks Online itself? You could definitely go through that training. You can go through specialty courses about how to be a payroll specialist and things like that, or you can go straight to the certifications. So this has changed, and the way we get certified in QuickBooks Online has changed in the last year. So I want to make sure that everybody is aware of this. Also, if you are attending this in October of 2022, this is the last month that you can get certified for 2022. November 1st of 2022 is when the new 2023 certification courses will launch in this realm, and all this is going to swap out. Now, if you've already started working on your certification, I would just give it a shot, because guess what? When it swaps out, you have to start all over again anyway. When you click to certification, there are several things you need to do. First of all, I'm already certified in QuickBooks Online, so every year, instead of taking the entire exam again, they have something called recertification. It's a short exam that's just features that were released since the certification course or since the certification exam went out. So that's just something you do every year. It's like just keeping up with the new stuff. So and it's usually just a couple of modules. It's not too intense. If you're certifying for the first time, you're going to need to do a couple of things. First of all, there's QuickBooks Online certification, which is for you first timers out there. Those of you who have already been certified once in QuickBooks Online, you already have this done. You can download your certificate and then sit for the advanced certification. Now that course is a lot more intense, and it's talking more about accounting principles, different things that you can do in QuickBooks Online in complex situations, and digging into other features that we don't get into in the basic certification, things like inventory and multi-currency and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then for those of you who have been using QuickBooks Desktop, you can pull those certifications from your desktop ProAdvisor program up here and manage all those certifications as well. Okay, so this is actually, these courses that say QuickBooks Online Certification Prep are literally that. They are showing you how to take the exam. It's not what knowledge you need to have to take the exam. So that's where we go to product training. So if I'm going to take the QuickBooks Online certification for the first time, I'm going to go to product training, and I'm going to look for QuickBooks Online right here, product training. So that product training aligns with this certification. Now, if I'm already certified in QuickBooks Online and I want to become advanced certified, this advanced training aligns with the advanced certification. Okay? So I just want to make sure you know how to, get around this training platform, so you know where to go and you don't waste your time training on something you didn't need in order to sit for the exam. So at this moment, I'm going to speak to the new QuickBooks Online first-time certification people. This is where you want to go. You can click here, and it will release the 8 modules that you will need to study. So basically, we want you to study and understand all of these concepts about QuickBooks Online. And then if you feel confident in all of this, you can then sit for the exam. So the exam doesn't follow these courses individually, these lessons individually, but it does touch on these concepts. And we want to make sure you understand all these concepts before you sit for the exam. You can also, if self-paced isn't the right thing for you, you could also register for webinars as well. If you click here to register, this is actually taking you to a place called qbtrainingevents.com, and that's where you can register for all of these ones. Oh, and it looks like I'm teaching this advanced one. So anyway, so that is where the training is, and this is where you can go. Self-paced is great. I like going through that, and then I also like taking a webinar, because guess what? During the webinar, there's other trainers who are supporting the person who is actually presenting, and they can answer questions live. They're not going to answer exam questions. They are going to answer concepts about this content. How do you pay a bill? How do you add a new client? What are the what's the new client checklist, things like that. Okay, so you study all of these. I'll just click through on one of the modules. You're just going to go through and start following along in these modules, reading. And inside here, as you're going through and learning all this, they also have a little drop down. Sometimes you'll see videos. And then they'll also ask you some knowledge checks, just making sure you understand the concepts. And then you can move on to the next bit of it. So that's kind of how you take the self-paced. And again, I would also take a webinar as well if you can get to it. So I'm going to go back over to the certification tab, and this is the one we want to take. Now this person is already certified, but basically this is going to take them through how to take the exam. So how do you become certified? Where do I click to take the exam? It's basically this button here would say take exam, but this user's already taken it. But you go through these three modules that will help you understand how the exam is presented. What's really cool is it also narrows down topics that will be on the exam. So I'll just click in there and show you that this is going to take you through what to expect on advising clients, on managing their work, accountant tools. It's also giving you these knowledge checks are very similar to the types of exam questions you're going to get. They're not exam questions, but they're very similarly written, so you can kind of get a feel of the cadence of the exam. So I would definitely go through and make sure you understand all of these concepts before sitting for the exam. Self-paced. So go through the three modules, and then you're going to click Take Exam. Now, what I'm going to do is click through and show you what the exam looks like. It does a pop-up right there. Now that's really important. If you have pop-ups blocked, you should be getting an error message somewhere here on the browser in the background saying you have pop-ups blocked. You need to allow pop-ups from Intuit so you can start taking the exam. Now this is desktop recertification, but basically the same kind of content, or not content, the way the exam is presented. You click Get Started, and then you just start answering the questions. So let me get to the next screen. And here's kind of what a question would look like. So here's also how it works. When you're taking the certification exam for QuickBooks Online, you are going to be presented with different sections of the exam. So I believe right now there's 6 sections, although the content I showed you to study were 8 modules. So what you need to do is study maybe 3 or 4 modules of the content in self-paced, and then sit for the first section of the exam, because then you'll know that you've covered everything that's going to be on section 1. Okay, so it's kind of in a chronological order. When you submit let's say I'll just choose something and hit next, that's the first question. Usually there's somewhere around 10 to 15 questions in a section, and you must finish this section before you close your browser, because you will lose your progress here. So make sure you hit next, 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 get them all answered. Another thing I like to do is actually take screenshots of my answers. So there's a snippet tool on Windows, or however you take screenshots. Here's the snipping tool on Windows. I would just click a new snip and then just capture what I answered, and then maybe I'll just throw that on a Google Doc. And I'll just open a new Google Doc here and paste it, Control V, paste. There's my answer, and then I'm going to say this, and maybe name this is attempt 1 of QBO 2022 cert. Okay, so this is my first attempt, and I might even type in why I answered the question the way I did. Maybe sometimes I find I misread a question, and I like to actually state the question out loud, because sometimes I hear it different when I'm actually talking to myself. So anyway, keep this, and here's why. Because once you start memorializing your answers, each section you will submit. You won't know if you've passed yet until all the sections are submitted, which is usually, I think it's six sections right now. And it might take you, a few days to get through all 6 sections. When you do submit it on your first attempt, you're going to get presented whether you had a pass or not a pass. If you didn't pass, well, guess what? The good news is you only have to retake the sections that you did not pass. Basically, if I got section 1, 2, 3, and 4 passed, I only have to sit for section 5 and 6. So I could go back and revisit some of my answers on attempt 1. I might get the same question again, and I can look at it and rethink it. But the questions do toggle out. I no guarantee I'm going to get the same question again. So anyways, just keeping notes on the process of taking the exam. If for some reason you can't pass the exam on attempt 1, 2, or 3, you're going to get presented with the entire exam again. You get a lockout. But here's the thing. We're in October right now. This exam is switching out in November of 2022, so you might as well just go for it and give it a try. But if you do have to sit for it again, and you try to, and you do have the time to do so, you have your original answers for those sections that you already passed, that you passed on the first try. So you could go back and revisit these notes. So that's why these notes are so important. And I'm really encouraging you to sit for this exam as soon as possible, because even if you get locked out, the exam's going to reset itself on November 1st anyway. So you might as well just give it a shot and try and get this done. This is a desktop recertification exam, but I just wanted to give you the look and feel of this certification exam and what it looks like. Remember, pop-ups, etc. The other thing I like about this is it's an open book test. So I could pull this over to another monitor. So what I'm going to do is go to a new incognito window, and I'm using Google Chrome, which is the best experience for taking this exam. So I'm going to go to a new incognito window and basically log back in to this QuickBooks Online realm. So let me get back in there, and I have bookmarks in Google that are going to help me get there. Okay, so I'm signed in as Betty again, but I am in an incognito window. So basically what this means is I can navigate here to the training, open the exam, move it to, oh, this is a good demo. Third-party apps are blocked, or third-party cookies are blocked. Here is where I want to make sure that these are allowed. All right, and now it will load. So make sure if you see this on Google Chrome, you allow those. So now we can go here. I can go to certification. I can hit take exam. It'll open the exam up. And then if I navigate here to the training, which I will move my exam there, shrink that. If I'm over here on the training, I can actually study or look at the actual training while I am sitting for the exam. So you could see one screen has my exam, one screen has the training, and then off you go. I mean, you can just go through, look at the exam, and what's really cool about this training is it is a browser. So if there's something in there that I'm not familiar with the terminology or something like that, I can hit Control F here, and this is going to open a search or a find on my browser, and I can type in new client checklist. So I've got 8 options, so I can just start scrolling down the content here and reading, and then get back to my question and read it again, and align the two. Open book test. So really good to open your exam on an incognito window like I just showed you, because I don't want to get signed out when I go jump over here and start searching through the content for information. So that's really, really important. Again, make sure you submit the entire section. You won't know if you've passed it, but it at least will lock down your work. And then maybe the next day go and do section 2 or section 3 and study. I do keep this content open and the exam, and I'm also taking screenshots of my answers all the way through. So those are my tips for taking the exam. Again, you have a deadline at end of October, so make sure you at least give it a couple attempts. It is not timed, so it could take you 10 minutes to get through section 1, or it could take you 10 hours. Doesn't matter, as long as you don't, close the browser, and it's not going to take 10 hours, believe me. It shouldn't. So right now they're saying that the regular certification, not advanced, that is taking somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. So, or maybe sometimes 5, depending on the learner. And so that kind of means each section's maybe taking half an hour to an hour. So what I do is I just plan it for a week. I'll do day 1, like Monday, I'll do a section and then take a break. Next day, I'll do another section, and then you'll be on top of it. And when you submit that final section, you'll know if you passed. So anyway, good luck. I hope this training really helped. In our next training, we're going to go over and talk about a lot of the benefits, and then also how to maximize your ProAdvisor profile. Because once you are certified with QuickBooks Online, you can then be listed on the Find a ProAdvisor directory. And I want to show you how to maximize that listing and get you all set up so that you can start bringing in some clients to your new firm. So good luck, and remember, as you're playing along with this course, just pause it. If I'm talking too fast, pause it and follow along with me. Okay? All right. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next course.